This video is sponsored by Hungry Minds the Book. Sir, please, just take a quick second. Are you sure about this?
What are you on about? We've talked about this. What do you think the masses would rather have? A story about a tiny goat playing basketball produced by Stephen Curry? Or a story about a bunch of K-pop stars fighting demons? I think I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, okay, but K-pop is...
Here you go, Netflix. One K-pop demon slayer something. It's all yours. And hey, you know what? Since you asked nicely, I'll just throw in this little guy in with ya.
Oh, wow! Awesome! 2 in 1! Thanks, Sony! Can't wait to release these! See ya!
Bye! Sucker.
I really think you shouldn't have done that.
Oh, come on. What can a movie called K-pop Demon Hunters possibly bring to the table?
And the Oscar goes to K-pop Demon Hunter.
Well, I admit, I may have been wrong.
Well, at least we still own the songs.
Ooh, yeah. About that.
And the Oscar goes to Golden.
Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters just made Academy Awards history, becoming the first K-pop song to win Best Original Song.
This is the best day of my life.
GOAT is Sony's latest animated movie starring Caleb McLaughlin as Will Harris, a teenage goat who dreams of becoming the greatest Roarball player ever and is determined to change the game. That's such a weird name, Roarball. Greatest Roarball player, Roarball. Oh, and the film is produced by Stephen Curry, if you guys are wondering. I'm just mentioning that because the movie might forget to tell you about it. Surely that won't be brought up in every single marketing attempt now, will it? Scoring an 85% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes and reeling in over $180 million on a $90 million budget, GOAT is considered both a financial and critical success. Granted, it's not as financially booming or universally loved as K-pop Demon Hunters did with Netflix, but a success nonetheless. So this begs the question, is GOAT any good? Well, okay, look. Personally, I didn't like it as much. I mean, I thought it was good, but not that good. Come on, an 85% certified fresh? Are you freaking mad? Don't get me wrong, the movie had a lot of positives. Obviously, the animation looks great, the action is shot well, and the movie has its fun moments. But of course, it also has its negatives. The story's formulaic, the voice acting was a bit shoddy, and the pacing was just downright infuriating. Look, I have a lot, and I mean a lot to say about this movie, so why don't we just cut to the chase? Is Sony Animation's GOAT a certified winner, or was this just one giant airball? Well, let's take a look. This is Sony Animation's GOAT. We start off in the city of Vineland, where we get to meet the main character, a kid named Will Harris. Get it? Kid? Cause he's a baby goat? Please don't click off the video. Like and subscribe. I really need to pay rent. Kind of a weird and oddly specific name for a character like this. Usually, movies with anthropomorphic animals would do some silly animal pun or wordplay with the names, like what they did with Zootopia. But funny enough, this movie is truly realistic when it comes to the names. Will Harris, Jet Fillmore, Dennis Cooper, Frank. What is this, the 80s? But then, of course, 4 minutes later, and our main villain's name is a horse named Main Attraction, which I gotta hand it to them. Low-key a fire nickname. Together with his mom, they get to watch a Roarball game live for the first time, where Will gets to see his favorite player play in person, a Black Panther named Jet Fillmore.
That's gonna be me, Mom. When I get big, I'm gonna be just like her.
Oh, and we don't even get to see her play. Okay then, would have been a great time to see her dominate the game and show us the reason why she's Will's favorite player, but yeah, sure, let's not showcase the game in action on a movie that's hyper-focused on the game and action. Surely this won't be a recurring issue later in the movie, right? One time jump later and we see an older Will barely scraping by as a delivery guy. Or goat, whatever you feel like it. And turns out the Vineland Thorns are not doing too hot, and that Jet, after all these years, has yet to win a championship, losing her goat status to main attraction.
Why can't you win a championship?
Frustrated with the current structure of the team, Jet forces the team owner, Flo, to make immediate changes. And that she does. One thing to point out is that almost immediately we're showcased to a bunch of amazing and unique visuals, similar to the amazing and unique visuals you can see inside today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by ᵒᵒⁿᵈ the book, the ultimate guide to rebuilding civilization. That's right, the coolest book on the planet is back, and it can be yours today. From the sleek, hardbound cover to over 400 pages of breathtaking illustrations and interesting information, you just can't help but find yourself lost in between the pages. It's also the ultimate conversation starter. Just have this baby propped up by your living room table and watch as curious guests immediately get hooked. With over hundreds of colorful, creative, unique, and detailed drawings, it's no wonder that this was one of Kickstarter's top projects and ᵒᵒⁿᵈ's bestseller with raving reviews. And great news, if you want to grab your own copy of ᵒᵒⁿᵈ the book, the ultimate guide to rebuilding civilization, then you're in luck because you can grab a copy for 10% off right now. Yup, by clicking the link below or scanning this QR code, you can use the code BRIAN at checkout for 10% off your purchase. That's right, use the code BRIAN at checkout for 10% off your purchase. So don't miss out. Be curious, stay hungry. And special thanks to ᵒᵒⁿᵈ for sponsoring this video. Meanwhile, back in Vineland,
Hello, William.
Hey, Frank, how are you?
Would you happen to have that rent?
oh, I've seen these types of scenes before. He's gonna get pressed by the mean landlord to pay rent, and we're gonna feel sorry for him because he's trying really hard to pay it on time and...
Yeah. What about last month and the month before?
Oh wait, hold on a minute. Buddy, you haven't paid the man in 3 fucking months? Well, no shit, you're getting evicted. You're basically robbing the guy. The next day, however, coincidentally, main attraction is in town, going one-on-one with a bunch of randoms. In an attempt to win some rent money, Will volunteers to go against him. And we get a pretty cool 1v1 match here. This is pretty much the first time we get to see Will show off his moves against an actual opponent. Though he does end up losing, he still manages to give an ankle breaker in the process. Alright kids, looks like it's time to learn about the harsh reality of whenever a horse breaks a leg. Watch closely. But I also have an issue about this. It's an issue that I will touch on later in this video, but the game just kind of fell short. Mind you, this matchup and that ankle breaker I just mentioned would get recorded and go insanely viral, leading to the Thorns owner, Flo, recruiting Will to the team. Here's the thing though, I don't really know how to explain this, but I will try my hardest, gosh darn it. During the 1v1, we don't really get to see how, quote, good Will is. Let me explain. In scenes like these in underdog movies, we kind of have this pause where our main character, or even the crowd, kind of just soak in the moment or have this sudden realization of something. Like this goat, a small, is basically manhandling a pro player because he's playing the game in a completely different way. Soak it in. The movie doesn't really give you that opportunity. They show Will can handle the ball and shoot it from long range, but they don't treat it as something new. They're cheering, but it doesn't feel revolutionary. We see him play, but they don't show what makes his play style different, you know? I wanna be in awe. I wanna root for you. Give me a reason to. Show me Will realizing that he's way faster than Main. Show me Will using his eyesight to read the defense. Hell, show me Will taking advantage of his height and actually slice through the defense. Go under their legs. I don't think he even does that once in the entire movie. You're literally labeled a small. That should be the first thing you'd be doing. For a movie inspired by the story of Stephen Curry, apart from the shooting, I don't see much resemblance here. Like, where are all the illegal screens? But anyways, back to the movie. Much to Jet's dismay, Will is now part of the team. Now, I've already mentioned that this movie is formulaic, and the team members and their little story arcs were not the exemption either. We first get introduced to the head coach, a monkey named Dennis Cooper, followed by the rest of the team. We have a rhino named Archie who is having trouble with work-life balance, a giraffe named Lenny who has lost his passion for the game, an ostrich named Olivia who's self-conscious about what social media has to say about her, and Moto. Just Moto. He's an icon? So, the movie follows the typical minor subplot route where each member deals with their own sort of story arc or insecurity, and I just didn't really care. None of them were pretty interesting. Funny enough, the characters from Sing had more investing subplots. I don't know, man. They were all kind of just surface level problems that didn't really feel like problems. I mean, honestly, aside from Jet and Olivia, everyone else was kind of just there. Archie didn't really solve his work-life balance problem. He kind of just accepts that his daughters are the devil now. Lenny kind of just regained his passion midway through the movie. Didn't do a good job portraying that as well. And Moto, he was fine the entire time, I guess. So, we kind of get the gist of this movie, right? New kid comes along, changes the culture of the losing team gets better, yada yada. They're fighting for the championship now. Yippee. But here's the thing though. Harkening back to what I said earlier in the video, the Roarball scenes, aside from the final act, really fell short for me, which was super disappointing. The fact that the movie, in the opening minutes, didn't even show Jet playing a Roarball game was a massive red flag. Like, why does this movie just refuse to showcase its own made-up sport? It doesn't make sense. All I'm saying is, the movie could have executed the Roarball games better. I know it's just basketball in a different skin, but the movie doesn't give it a fair share of exposure. I wanna see how a game unfolds. And that's another thing. The movie is just presenting the game way too fast. Guys, slow the fuck down. Let me internalize the atmosphere for a second. Take a breath. This all comes back to what I said about having to pause to soak in the moment. Throughout the movie, they visit these gorgeous looking arenas, but we never get a chance to admire them because in a blink of an eye, they kind of just skip to the next game. It's infuriating. They keep talking about how close the game is, but we don't even see the fucking score. And I really don't want to sound like a negative Nancy, but when it came to the team sucking, the movie did a terrible job presenting that one too. We really don't see much of the team struggle in the game. It's just a whole lot of scenes of Will trying to get minutes and the occasional visual gag here and there. It would have been better if we got to see how bad the team was playing with each other. See their weaknesses and flaws on the court. Maybe have someone like Lenny be mispositioned. Have characters like Olivia and Moto clash mid-play because they're running different playsets, you know? Small details. In that way, inserting Will as a facilitator would make sense. But I do like how each of the characters have their own distinct abilities based on their species. A rhino is a protector, the ostrich is your run and gun, and all that. I thought that was a nice touch. Jet and Will also start to get along after he takes her to the diner where he used to work. And this is probably the only time the movie slows down and lets you breathe. And I actually really like this part. The writers kind of tried to reel you in emotionally with the dead loved one cliche, but it didn't really work for me. But I mean, to be fair, the movie was actively avoiding that topic anyway, so what do I know? Later.
Pack it up.
You have failed me, movie. A screaming goat joke in 2026. You are dead to me.
We have merch! Wow! Great price. Affordable. Click the link. Later in the movie, thanks to Will, the Thorns are on a roll and the morale is high. But that all changes when Flo reveals that she's sold the team and that everyone will be cut, eliminating any chance for ᵈᵒⁿ'ᵗ to win the championship.
Flo sold the team to ᵒᵦ̗ᵗ. None of us are going with it.
Can she even do that? Is that even
We were
allowed?
playing well, we just started gelling. She sold our
There are
team.
rules.
Never gonna win at all.
Just get me the ball.
In pure rage, Jet would revert to playing selfish again and take over, ultimately winning the game?
Thorns win! Thorns win!
Hey, would you look at that? A 15-point comeback, and they're in the finals! Congratulations! Oh, and they're gone. Okay. Yeah, so apparently everyone is mad at Jet now because she ball-hogged the entire quarter and didn't play as a team. Okay, but like, you guys won though. Isn't that the point of having a superstar player? For them to take over when the team is falling short? I get that the synergy wasn't meshing because the team got sold, but you guys were still losing. You're down by 15. The finals is on the line. Give her the ball. Here's an idea. This type of reaction from the team would have made sense if Jet decided to take over and her selfishness almost cost them the game. Maybe have the team up by 1 in the final seconds, but because of her selfishness, she would turn the ball over and the opposing team would take it, but they're just unlucky and miss the game-winning shot, you know? Somewhere in that realm. Cause just because she didn't pass the ball doesn't really warrant a walkout, guys. Especially when she won you the game.
You used to be my favorite player. Until today.
What?
Well, anyways, so the team is disbanded, everyone's sad, yada yada, and we all know where this is going. After a quick montage of everyone being sad, and I mean really quick, shit lasted for like 30 seconds, Jet would apologize and, with Will's help, they'd get the team back together.
That was a really good apology.
A whopping 3 minutes of downtime. Amazing. They'd face off against Maine and his team in the finals. And honestly, this entire segment is probably the best part of the film. Probably because this is the only time the movie lets you watch a game.
He can fly!
Can fly?
After a couple of close calls, and of course, the power of friendship, Will and the crew take down main attraction, and the Violent Thorns finally win a championship. Cut to the next day, and the crowd back in Violent would throw a parade for our stars. But each cheer would be bittersweet as the city is still losing its team. But with a full heart and a wishful mind, with his chest full and his voice unshaken, Will makes a promise, not just to the crowd, but to the world, that no matter what happens, no matter where they are, Violent isn't just a place, it's a legacy, and they will forever be known as champions. Oh, what's that? Moto bought back the team? How? Uno game.
Uno reverse.
Wow, this is actually legit.
Uno's my boss.
Well, that's just fucking stupid. So, yeah. GOAT is not that great. There are a couple of moments where you can say that the movie could have done some things maybe a little better. Admit it, we all kind of went into the film thinking that this was going to be your run-of-the-mill sports movie. And in a way, it is, just not in the way that I thought it would be. Honestly, I just wanted the movie to focus on Will and how he would change the game, but they don't really give you that satisfaction. The movie should have just leaned into the Stephen Curry story more. Have the GOAT shock the league with his shooting, quickness, speed, introducing a whole new approach to the game dominated by bigs and muscles, you know? Something like that. But alas, all we got was a generic sports movie about teamwork. Also, no shit to anyone involved, but the voice acting can get a bit rough sometimes. Caleb McLaughlin, oof, buddy, I love ya, but you got some work to do. The movie does still have its upsides though. I like like the subtle nods and references to vintage and classic basketball history. I thought those were fun. If you're a basketball fan, this movie might just easily win you over. The soundtrack is pretty fire, not gonna lie, and the animation looks really good. If you're looking for a fun, visually appealing movie about anthropomorphic animals building trust and friendships, topped off with funny jokes, clever references, and perfectly executed world building, well, lucky for you, Zootopia 1 and 2 are right there, available for streaming. Nah, I'm just kidding. Look, at the end of the day, the movie is fine. Would I be rewatching this anytime soon? Probably not. Would I remember this movie as time goes on? I'm pretty sure I already forgot about it. It's safe and it's harmless, and above all, it's just fine. But sadly, just fine isn't good enough. So I'm gonna give Sony Animation's GOAT a 5 out of 10. It's closer to a 6 than a 4. Good night.